Do you know of the man with the worst punishment in Greek history, Tantalus, a king, a son of Zeus himself, beloved by gods, trusted enough to dine at Olympus? But he grew arrogant, and in that arrogance, he violated the divine order. He stole ambrosia and nectar, the food of immortals. He revealed secrets of the gods to mortals, but his worst crime, he invited the gods to a feast and served them his own son. Yes, he killed his son Pelops, butchered the boy, boiled his flesh, and offered it as a meal to the divine. He wanted to test the gods' omniscience. But you don't trick gods. All saw through it, except Demeter, grief-stricken by the loss of Persephone. She took a single bite of the child's shoulder. The gods resurrected Pelops, gave him an ivory shoulder, but Tantalus was damned. He was cast into Tartarus, the darkest pit of the underworld. There he stands in a pool of clear, cool water with parched lips and burning thirst. But every time he leans down to drink, the water vanishes. Above him hang fruits, figs, pomegranates, and pears, but when he reaches out, the branches recoil, forever craving, never quenched. He became the embodiment of eternal longing, of desire without satisfaction. That's where we get the word tantalize, to torment with what is near but always out of reach. Tantalus wasn't just punished. He became the archetype of forbidden desire, of sacred violation, of the soul cut off from the divine, a warning etched in myth for those who would mock the gods. Tityos, a giant born of Gaia, the earth herself. He wasn't just tall, he was titanic, so vast his body stretched across 9 acres of the underworld. But his size wasn't his sin. His crime was desire. He reached too far toward Leto, the mother of Apollo and Artemis. She was sacred, untouchable, a mother of gods. And yet Tityos tried to violate her, to lay his massive form upon what was divine and pure. But you don't lay hands on a goddess and live. Before he could succeed, Apollo and Artemis struck him down. Twin justice, swift and merciless. But death was not the end. In Tartarus, Tityos suffers eternally. He is chained, spread eagle, unable to move. And every day 2 vultures descend, not to kill but to feast. They tear into his flesh, dig into his liver that regenerates each night, every single night. His torment is cyclical, a grotesque resurrection. His body heals only to be ripped apart again, not for what he did, but for what he tried to do. He represents unchecked lust, the arrogance of mortal desire aimed at divine beings. His punishment, a body turned into a feast, a soul trapped in hunger and pain, no less than the gods he defied. Tityos is not just a myth, he is a symbol of those who reach beyond their realm, not to rise, but to take, and for that, he was made to suffer forever. Ixion, a king, a mortal, but not just any mortal, the first to spill kin's blood and be welcomed to Olympus anyway. Zeus, in his strange mercy, gave Ixion a seat among the gods. But mortal hunger runs deep. Ixion looked upon Hera, Zeus's wife, and thought he could defile what no man was meant to touch. He wanted her, desired her, plotted betrayal in the house of his host. But Zeus knew. He didn't strike him down immediately. Instead, he tested him. Zeus crafted a phantom, a cloud shaped like Hera, and left Ixion alone with it. Ixion, blinded by lust, took the bait. He coupled with the illusion, and from that unholy union came the centaur race, wild, primal, half-beast beings. And so the gods passed judgment. Ixion was cast down not just to the underworld, but into a unique torment. He is bound to a fiery spinning wheel whirling endlessly through the void, a symbol of desire that can't be tamed, betrayal that burns forever, and a fate that never stops turning. Ixion isn't just being punished. He became the punishment. For wanting the Queen of Heaven, he's bound to the cycle of eternal yearning and never finding stillness. Sisyphus, a king of cunning, founder of cities, he cheated travelers, betrayed gods, and broke the sacred laws of Xenia, divine hospitality. But his greatest offense, he tricked Thanatos, death itself. When the god of death came to take him, Sisyphus chained him instead. For a while no one could die. The world descended into chaos. Soldiers fought in endless battles. The natural order cracked. Eventually Ares, god of war, freed Thanatos. But Sisyphus wasn't done. Before dying, he told his wife not to perform the burial rites. Then, in the underworld, he claimed injustice, saying he hadn't received proper funeral honors and asked Hades for permission to return. And he was allowed. Once back among the living, he simply refused to go back. He cheated death again. But gods aren't fools forever. When they finally dragged him back, the punishment was unlike any other. Massive stone, a hill, an eternal task. Sisyphus is condemned to push a boulder uphill. Every time he nears the top, the stone slips, rolls back down, and he must begin again. Endless effort, no reward, a cycle of hope and despair, struggle without success, action without end. He is the patron of the futile, the god defier bound to meaningless toil. But some say, just maybe, he smirks. Because though the gods cursed him, he remains active, conscious, and unbroken, a rebel even in damnation.